pace yourself less.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars, WJXL-FM, Jacksonville Beach. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Old school.
Going to be stolen, I think, by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Ray rocked the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Stolen by Bird and the cut to DJ. Yeah!
Buckle up for Kobe Bryant.
New era.
Oh! A jawbreaker!
Curry, way down top. Bang!
It's all basketball.
A spectacular move by Michael Jordan.
Lace 'em up. It's time for 1010XL's Open Gym. Leading the break, here's RJ Saunders.
We had last week off, but we are back this week. It's the basketball show for the basketball fan. Welcome back to Open Gym. RJ Saunders here with you alongside special guest producer Andrew Gibson. Gibby, I know this was probably not the first thing on your list to do today, but I am so glad to have you on, man.
Always a pleasure to help you out, man. How are you?
Good. Casey is out this week. Hopefully he'll be back with us next week. He is on the mend. But Andrew Gibson, you can hear him on 1010XL and 92.5 FM along with his baseball program. Plug that real quick, Gibbs.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's River City Hardball. We're going to be, our next show will be on the 21st is what we're looking at. So let's see, what is that? 2 Sundays from now, right. Not next Sunday, because that's the Masters next Sunday, yes. Of course. And then the Sunday following, we'll have River City Hardball coming back up. And so, you know, we focus on baseball here in the Jacksonville area, high school, college, and pro. Hopeful to have some coaches and players from Bowles and Tucoy Creek to come in on the 21st. And we're going to talk hopefully also to some Florida State Seminole baseball players that are from the Jacksonville area. There's 3 of their starting 9 in their lineup that are from Duval, so that's pretty cool. So, yeah, I appreciate it. River City Hardball brought to you by DBAT Jacksonville, the 21st coming up.
He does a great job with that program. Make sure to tune in. Before we get into today's topic, just a little bit of housekeeping things. Our question of the day, 641-1010. I've been seeing this all over Twitter, so I want to ask the listeners, the fans, are you done with the 90s? Are you done? Is it finished? Is it time to stop talking about it? Is it time to put it in the past? Or are you telling these young kids to go off somewhere? Leave me in my 90s alone. Let us know at 641-1010. We have an Orlando Magic giveaway. Once we hit our first break, call 641-1010. Actually, you know what? Call in the next 5 minutes, 11:05. Call 641-1010 for your chance to win 2 tickets to Orlando's upcoming game against the Milwaukee Bucks on the 14th. If you call in, make sure you can go. So we all understand each other on that? Make sure you can go to the game and enjoy the festivities, man. The Orlando Magic headed to the NBA playoffs. And I think they're going to win their first round series. Shaq says that they'll sweep the New York Knicks if that's who they face in the first round. So it's going to be exciting to see how this season finishes and how the Orlando Magic do come postseason. All right, so let's get into our first topic here. And, I mean, there were many ways and many thoughts that I had when it came to what our opening topic would be. And then Friday comes around, and at around noon-ish, Bronny James is posting on Twitter that he is putting his name into the NBA draft. And for him, he's coming off a year that had ups and downs, in my opinion. Now, I wasn't glued to the TV watching USC Trojan basketball all season, but I think it's fair to say, and I think the consensus has been, that maybe he needs another year or 2 before he decides to go into the NBA. Now, he will retain his college eligibility, and he'll also enter the transfer portal after the former head coach of USC has now left. Now you have Musselman coming in, and he's going to ride that ship. And he's also posted a lot of where he's going to go, maybe Ohio State. Will he go to Duke? Will he go to Texas? But yesterday, he photoshopped or had some Photoshop pictures of him in a Los Angeles Laker uniform. Oh boy. And there's so many avenues that this could go for Bronny, right? I mean, Doug Gottlieb has said numerous times on his show two things. One, that Bronny James in high school wasn't even the best player on his team. And I agree with him. You had Amari Bailey, who now plays, I think, for the G League affiliate with the Charlotte Hornets, but he was there with him, Bronny James at Sierra Canyon. Then he goes to UCLA. So, of course, he wasn't the best player there. But it was interesting to hear that Bronny James, with even his own AAU team, wasn't even the best player on his team. Then cap that off, and he wasn't even the best player in his own league in high school. Gottlieb, I guess, argues he wasn't even a top 10 player in his own league in high school. Secondly, Gottlieb points out that Bronny is going to possibly need another year in college, which we've spoken about. He may need to have another year in college and could be a great college player if he allows the natural progression to take form. And the natural progression being, if he stays another year, he came off the bench his freshman year. There were a lot of injuries that happened during that season for the Trojans, and he was able to start towards the end of the year. However, you come in, you start your second year. By the time you're in your third year, you're possibly looking at being an all-conference member. Senior year, you're an all-American player. Here's what Rick Bucher of Fox Sports is saying when he's talked with NBA executives and with NBA scouts. Several have suggested that Bronny would benefit from another year, saying, quote, and this is from a Western Conference exec, he's going to be a real solid NBA player. He'll play in the league for about 8 to 10 years. He's not a superstar by any stretch of the imagination. Everybody wants him to be LeBron. He's never going to be LeBron. But he's a good team guy, and he can defend and make shots. A decent ball handler, a solid player, a great kid. And I've seen in some places where guys are comparing him to that of Gary Harris. I'll get into the LeBron aspect of this in a minute, but it was also interesting that you have an NBA writer, I think it was Jonathan Givony, who's very respected in NBA circles. Last season, going into this season for Bronny James, he had him as a top 10 prospect going into this year. And I have to assume that would possibly be before the cardiac arrest that Bronny suffered. Had him as a top 10 prospect. I think there was one draft board that had him going 21st to the Hawks. Following that, he gets taken off the entire 2024 draft board completely, and they put him in the 2025 draft. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to stay another year in college. And I think the more and more he stays in this combine, if there are a couple of teams that are starting to bite, he is going to possibly put his name in the draft entirely, go through with the entire process, and Bronny James is an NBA player. However, it just seems that a lot of people are saying he's not ready yet. Enter in LeBron James, probably the most powerful man in the NBA. Before I get to him, Jamal Mashburn was a guest of the Doug Gottlieb show and had this to say about Bronny James putting his name in the NBA draft.
At the end of the day, it's the only, he has the power to make that happen. I think it's in the best interest of him. I don't know if it's in the best interest of Bronny's long-term career. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Bronny to perform, and to really step outside of his shadows. I tend to, I'm not playing now anymore. My name still resonates pretty loudly as far as in the basketball circles, but I want my son to be his own individual and carve out his own path, because there's something to be said about him having complete ownership of his journey, and making decisions, being able to fail, being able to succeed on his own terms and own choices. So I just would be cautious if I'm, LeBron. Obviously, he knows a lot more about his son and his abilities and what his capacity is for basketball. I think he's going to be an outstanding basketball player at the professional level just by all the things that he can do. Bronny can, as far as being a complete player. But if there's this expectation for him to be something similar to his dad, I think that's sending the wrong message. And I think at some point, LeBron James will move forward and move out of the game. And now Bronny's in the NBA, what's his identity? It has to be tied to Bronny, not LeBron.
So the reason I bring this up is because an article came out a couple months ago from The Athletic, and it writes that, I couldn't believe that I was reading this, when it comes to Bronny James potentially going to the Lakers, where his father plays currently, the Lakers, per a high-ranking team source, are willing to explore the notion of adding Bronny James next season. The stance, the source says, is rooted in the reality that James's happiness truly matters with the organization. I think as great of a player as LeBron James is, and as a lot of people, whether you like him, love him, hate him, he's one of the foremost great talents that we've ever seen in the NBA. I don't think we talk about him as a father enough. Not saying he is a better father than anybody listening, but he's a father that's blinded by love. And we saw the tweets. LeBron James comes out with a tweet and says, oh, Bronny could play in the league right now. He could play in the league now. He could help us win games. Then he gets taken off of draft boards. People are starting to talk, and now it's just allow him to be a kid, which I think LeBron James has done. But I do believe that LeBron James wants a Ken Griffey Jr. type of story. I don't know if Bronny James is ready for that yet. If at all. Would the Lakers, if Bronny James decides that I'm going to go through with this, and I'm going to go to the NBA. I'm not going to go to the transfer portal. I want to go to the league, see where I end up. Let's say he moves out of the first round, and now he's going to the second round, and the Lakers, let's just say, have the 31st pick. Is LA saying, are we really doing this? Are we going to make this investment to keep LeBron here, and we're bringing in Bronny? He's not ready. We may have to put him in the G League, or he sits on the end of the bench. Bronny and LeBron get a couple photo ops together in their jerseys. LeBron's able to say this on his podcast. We're looked at as a first-class organization. But we know he's not entirely ready yet. There's still a lot he has to work on. Are we willing to go through with this? And LeBron admittedly is saying he doesn't have that much more time in the NBA. His time is shortening. I want to play with my son. I think he also said, Savannah said he wants him to play with Bronny and Bryce. I don't think that move would help the Lakers. That helps them keep LeBron. Sure. But will it help the Lakers 3 to 5 years down the line? As great of a player as many think he's going to be, which is a long-standing player in the NBA, does that help him, like Jamal Mashburn said? Does this help him when LeBron's out of the league in maybe 3 years? Remember LeVar? Remember LeVar Ball? My son is better than Steph Curry, I view him more as a Penny Hardaway type player. LeBron James with my son could help us now. He loves
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. He loves his son. He loves his son, and he wants him to play at the highest level. The only team that I could honestly see doing this would be the Lakers. Lakers did a solid for Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq thought Sharif was not supposed to be in the league. He said, stay one more year in college. Elected to leave, go to the NBA, wasn't drafted. Jeanie Buss in the Lakers organization, do him a solid, put him on the summer league team. I think LA would do it again with LeBron James. All you've done for us, we'll do this for you. Now, would this mean that LeBron James would give the Lakers a hometown discount to create a better roster around them? I think the Lakers would have to ask. I mean, a second round pick now, the investment is almost about $5 million. LeBron, are you willing to, I know that you've said here that you are looking to make about $100 million, I guess, in this final contract. Hey, Lakers, revisionist history. Remember what you did with Kobe? And you gave him $50 million that he maybe did not deserve? And this is coming from a biggest Kobe fan that you could find. I don't know if you want to do that to LeBron. Hey, can you shave off maybe $30, $40 million? Let's build the roster around that. But LeBron's a powerful man in the NBA. He can do this. If his happiness is the biggest thing that the Lakers are looking for him to do. Look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Thanasis should not be on an NBA roster. He's better than me, but he probably shouldn't be on an NBA roster. Why is he on the Bucks? To keep Giannis what? Happy. This is going to be different. Giannis and Thanasis, brother. You're talking father-son here. Now, I could be looking at this completely wrong. I could be. And Bronny is just going through this whole process, see what scouts say. Scouts speak to his reps, say he needs to work on A, B, and C. Goes into the transfer portal, goes to, let's just say, UF. Works on himself over the summer. Comes back. He's a part of the all-SEC team. Next season, stock rises. Maybe looking middle of the first round. Now, all of a sudden, he and LeBron are playing in, I don't know, Orlando. Selfishly, I would like to see that. But would you like to see Bronny James? What would you do if this was your son and you feel that he's not ready? Are you blinded by love as a father and you say, I think he'll be great in the league right now? Or that he should stay another year? And he shouldn't have to hang his head if he has to stay another year. But Kenyon Martin stayed 4 years. Quentin Richardson averaged a double-double as a freshman at DePaul. Decided to stay for a second year. He probably could have came out his freshman year. Danny Granger, what a name. Danny Granger stayed at New Mexico for a couple of years and was an NBA All-Star. There shouldn't have to be any hanging of the head if he has to stay another year. And I wonder if LeBron is saying, listen, this decision is ultimately yours. And whether I'm in the league or not, by the time you decide to come out, it shouldn't matter. But I think if he does come out, unfairly, we're going to ask whether or not he can hang with the big boys. And if he's averaging, let's just say, less than 10 points a game, are we saying LeBron failed his son? I don't know. But hopefully he stays another year. That's what I would tell him to do. But at the end of the day, this is Bronny James' decision. And also, Bronny James isn't at a place like LeBron James was when he was in high school. LeBron James had to be more tactical with his decisions. Do I stay for another year, or am I trying to get my mother out now? Bronny James hasn't had to grow up and go through that. However, he does have a decision where, in somewhat, he has to be tactical. Granted, there's no money on the line. but what's the type of player that I want to be 3 to 5 years down the line? Or do I just want to do this because my father wants to play with me? 641-1010 to answer our text line question of the day or comment what we spoke about. Do you think Bronny James is ready for the league right now, or should he go another year in college? And to top it off, what college do you think he should go to? What would best suit him? This is Open Gym on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Stay in your lane.
Take Jacksonville with you.
There's no place like home.
Listen to 1010XL away from home.
Oh, but anyway, Toto, we're home. Home.
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices.
Hey, Glenn here with B&B Oil with Dylan from March Motor. Hey, Dylan, how does B&B Oil help you guys at the dealership?
If you have a dealership and don't want to worry about the hassle of credit cards or fuel vouchers floating around, have B&B Oil put a tank on your lot. It allows us to control who gets fuel and cuts out the worries of credit cards. And it helps us deliver the car faster. B&B Oil also meets our shop needs with lubricants as well. Call Glenn or check out the website, bb-oil.com.
ET here, and it's time for the Taste of Golf at TPC Sawgrass, April 24th. Join me for fine cuisine from chefs from the top golf clubs in our area, craft cocktails, games, and unique auction items. This is one of the most charitable events in our area. Come network with a sophisticated audience who is passionate about golf and its value, all impacting the youth in our community. All proceeds benefit First Tee North Florida. For tickets, go to tasteofgolf.com. Come on, somebody.
Dave Binion here with my son Ammon, who is the air duct cleaning manager at Zero Res. So Ammon, you may notice a little rattle in my voice and some puffiness in my eyes. That's because allergy season is coming on. Can Zero Res help?
Yes, your health has a lot to do with the air you breathe. A clean and healthy home begins with clean air. At Zero Res, we can help clean the air in your home by cleaning your air ducts, cleaning the coils in your HVAC units, and fogging the system with a powerful antimicrobial that helps kill and control the growth of microorganisms in your air. We also have options for maintaining your clean air with our excellent inline air purifier and UV lights that will help keep your system clean and healthy. At Zero Res, we are more than just air duct cleaners. We're a clean air specialist.
Have Zero Res air duct specialists out, and right now we'll give you $50 off your air duct cleaning, and while we're at it, we'll give you $50 off your dryer vent cleaning. Zero Res.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREC. Zero Res.
Breaking news, Jacksonville. Play It Again Sports is back. We are proud to be opening a brand new store on Merrill Road, but we need your help. We are currently stocking up and we need your gently used sports and fitness equipment. Play It Again Sports offers cash on the spot for all your used gear. We buy baseball, softball, football, hockey, lacrosse, golf, water sports. You name it, we buy it. Turn that gear into cash at Play It Again Sports Jacksonville on Merrill Road near 295 in the Merrill Station Shopping Plaza.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances, that's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
When they were little, the other girls played with dolls.
Aww.
They played with footballs.
Who's that?
Yes, it's us.
Helmets and heels.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
Some girls have all the fun.
Mia here, and let me tell you about one of our area's best resorts, the Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa. The Sawgrass Marriott is not only a great destination for a vacation, but it is also a great destination for dining on the Florida's First Coast. 1912 Ocean Bar and Rooftop is now open on Ponte Vedra Boulevard, featuring Ponte Vedra's only oceanfront rooftop bar and lounge. Serving finely crafted cocktails and delectable eats, it's open daily from 4 to 10 with complimentary valet parking.
Baseball is back. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, takes the field this season at 1-1 Financial Ballpark as the AAA affiliate of the Miami Marlins. Tickets start at just $5, fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids run the bases after every Sunday game. JackShrimp.com, Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable, family fun.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Back to the action on Open Gym on 1010XL. Back to the action on Open Gym on 1010XL.
The 0046 says Carmelo's kid would cook Bronny. He's not ready for a grown man. I like Carmelo's son. I mean, he seems to be playing very well.
Where does he play?
I think he's somewhere in New York. But I've seen highlights. Plays a lot like his dad. I also like Elijah Arenas out in California. Elijah Arenas has caught my eye. I don't know where he's going to go to school for college, but I think he's only a sophomore. I think he's going to be a problem once he gets to college. But Bronny James, maybe he should stay one more year. Have someone here on the YouTube chat line. He should transfer to Duquesne, where LeBron James' high school teammate is coaching. Could teach him a lot. Listen, everybody is saying that this guy has to be more vocal. Solid defender, great kid, just not ready for the next level yet. If he can take the natural steps of progression, it may be a different story. I don't know necessarily if Duquesne is a place that would put Bronny over the top. I'm sure him and LeBron are possibly speaking about, hey, we have to go to somewhere like a Duke, North Carolina, go to one of those bigger schools, more eyes on you. I don't think the Lakers will win again. This is also off the YouTube chat line. I don't think they'll win again until they move on from LeBron James. Even with a discount, he's going to be overpaid, and he's aged too much. Great player, though. I loved watching him. Listen, I don't know how he's able to do what he's done this season, but I don't know if him playing one good year this year, you give him $100 million, and then he's really on the back nine of this. I think he's beat Father Time, but look at Brady. Brady came back probably 1 year too much and showed that he was human and should have left, and we would have said that was the only person that we never saw bleed in the NFL. Of course, he lost to Eli twice, but we never really saw this guy bleed. LeBron James, he's bled a lot, and he's taken a lot of criticism. But $100 million at what? He'll probably be in his 40s by the time that's over. And you're doing that to make him happy and also bring his son in when the Lakers probably need more help surrounding that team, which, hey, granted, the Lakers have done a great job picking second-round talent. Max Christie, which I don't know why they don't play him, and Kyle Kuzma was selected in the second round. Those are two very good second-round picks the Lakers have made. Are you going to use that pick to say we're using this pick just to keep LeBron happy and to keep him in LA, when maybe the Lakers should be thinking about the next steps? And we'll be talking about that with Jonathan Von Tobel. He's going to join us at 11:30. He'll speak with us about the NBA on a macro level. He's with the good folks at VSiN, which you can hear here on the Superstation on our AM side. But want to transition a little bit to Caitlin Clark. She's been the darling of the NCAA tournament. You could argue on both the men's and women's side of the game. She's had this near revenge season. She lost to LSU last year. Now playing in the national championship game, which, Gibby, I think you said was tonight?
No, it's this afternoon, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's this afternoon. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, she's been obviously pretty awesome to watch.
Absolutely. Without a question, a surefire, probably the first overall pick when she decides to go to the WNBA draft. And Mia O'Brien has said that the WNBA feels like Caitlin Clark, by the time she comes into the league, the want and the money that is going to be brought in by investors and sponsors once she gets selected by the Indiana Fever, it's going to be madness. However, then you hear this story about Ice Cube offering reportedly $5 million to Caitlin Clark to play in the Big Three. I get the move. I get it. And I'll explain why. I get the move, but at the same time, I don't. And I'll explain why there, too. But I'll allow Ice Cube, the owner of the Big Three, to explain why he made this offer to the Iowa Phenom.
It's always 50-50 till we get a no. At the end of the day, it is a generous offer. And look, we're in a new age. It's like NIL. When we came up with the idea, our sponsors, our partners, they all want to make it happen. So, we was able to make that generous offer.
It's doable, though, isn't it? We started looking at it, and we reached out to some of the people from your company, very kind to us. Mm-hmm. Everybody at Big Three is very kind to us. And we're like, well, how would this work? Like, how would this even work? Well, it's 10 weeks. There's only one potential, conflict of time and schedule. But, you guys can move those games to places to kind of make it even easier, right, for Caitlin Clark and this whole thing. And WNBA players have been playing overseas. Yep. It's different times, but they've played in different leagues. So it's much more feasible, I think, than maybe your initial reaction whenever you hear about it. I assume that's a big part of your discussion as well with Caitlin, her team, and internally.
Oh, yeah, we've thought about it. It's definitely doable. Both leagues play on CBS, so of course they love it if we can make it happen. So, it's up to the player. As a league, we'll make it happen. We've always wanted to work with, the WNBA. We wanted to work with the NBA. Unfortunately, that hasn't been able to happen, but, maybe this will open the door for that.
Courtesy of the Pat McAfee show, Ice Cube was a guest talking about Caitlin Clark's offer to play in the Big Three. So I remember when the Big Three was making their media tour announcing that they were starting this league. And that was on Undisputed. Skip and Shannon had just started out. Remember when they were all lovey-dovey? And there were a couple of selling points that Ice Cube had when it came to this league. He wanted to have it where it was former NBA All-Stars, Hall of Famers, guys who probably couldn't run up and down in a 5-on-5 setting, but they weren't too old where they couldn't play on 3-on-3 setting. And, if you look at it now, even with the Olympics, 3-on-3 basketball is an event where USA basketball players can play 3-on-3 basketball against other countries. So, one of his selling points mostly was that he felt that summer sports or the summertime that, and I would assume because he's not a big baseball fan, he felt that in the summer, sports really died down. In the spring and in the summer, they really died down. There's no sports that catch his eye. There's no football. There's no NBA basketball. I'm not looking to watch the XFL, not looking to watch baseball, not looking to watch hockey. So I'm just kind of sitting on my hands wondering what to watch when it comes to sports. And this was supposed to be the pacifier for NBA fans to say, hey, if you still want to watch basketball at a high level, this is the alternative. And he also needed a face to it. You remember who the face was supposed to be of the Big Three? The answer. Allen Iverson, who hadn't played basketball in a while. I think he was enjoying retirement. He had played maybe a decade before that. Played like a game in Turkey, but couldn't be in the NBA anymore. And that was supposed to be like the guy. We have Allen Iverson playing. I think Allen Iverson got injured early, didn't play again, but you've had guys there like Gilbert Arenas, Quentin Richardson, Steven Jackson, and alike. So, as cool as I think it has been, and I think the big three look at this and say, we had Joe Johnson, who was a long-time journeyman in the NBA, but was able to get I believe it was either a 10-day contract or the Pistons signed him to the rest of the regular season. And it was, hey, one of our guys, one of our alums in the Big Three came from the Big Three and now is now playing on an NBA roster. I think they haven't had a face since Allen Iverson played half of one season. And I think they're looking for that face. And Caitlin Clark is the biggest name potentially in all of basketball, right behind LeBron and Steph. Could be the biggest name. We pay her $5 million. We have the face of our league. And it seems to me that they're saying we will usher or make the season around her schedule when she's playing with the Fever. And so she can play, because normally they play on Saturdays. She can play a Saturday game and then focus on the WNBA schedule for the rest of the time that she's in the WNBA. Here's the issue that I have with that. Now, let me preface my comments by saying, yes, females can play with the guys. Pickup basketball setting, there's been many girls that I know that can play at a high level, well, semi-high level because we're all playing pickup, but play at a high level with guys. A lot of women do play against guys when it comes to their college basketball teams. I've heard ad nauseum. I did it at FSCJ, where we played defense, and the coach didn't want us to hold back. She got a group of us guys to play against her girls' team to make them better and to make them stronger and to make them tougher. The issue I have is you're playing against former NBA vets, guys who have played overseas, guys who are probably still looking to make a mark somewhere, maybe get signed by an NBA team like Joe Johnson did. Maybe an overseas team looks at them and they're able to play in China or Turkey or Australia. So it's not like they're going to, quote unquote, and I don't think Caitlin Clark would be asking for that, quote unquote, take it easy on her. And then all of a sudden, that's the issue. Well, Ice Cube, why did you allow her to play in this league in the first place? And if that doesn't hurt enough, well, as great as she's been during this NCAA tournament and the time that she's been in the public eye, Diana Taurasi had a chance to speak to Scott Van Pelt on ESPN and says, hey, listen, Caitlin Clark, she's got people that are going to be waiting for her in the WNBA.
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Not saying that it's not going to translate, because when you're great at what you do, you're just going to get better. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to have to give yourself some grace as a rookie. And, it might take a little bit longer for some people.
It's going to be a transition period. And she's going to be the first overall pick. You're saying that the money is going to come at a rapid pace. And you want her now to play in the Big Three, where there are guys that are possibly going to look at that and say, well, she's getting paid $5 million. And as great as it is, we're still looking to make our mark somewhere else too, or that these guys are just going to get competitive. And the pride kicks in, and now, we'll pick on her. If somebody switches, and let's just say Reggie Evans is in the post against Caitlin Clark, is it don't pass to Reggie Evans because Caitlin Clark is guarding him? Or she gets caught by a screen and Frank Sessions is wide open for a three, and I'm just going to put up some lollipop stuff because Caitlin Clark is guarding me? Or is it, hey, it's a big boy league, in their opinion? Then you have the WNBA, where there are going to be players that are going to say this is the person who they are donning as the next great player. And we're going to show her that it's going to take her a while. I just don't want her confidence to get rattled. She's a great player. But if the big three does need a face, maybe look somewhere else. The NBA, it seems like they're already going to have in motion that Caitlin Clark is probably going to be the next person to face a three-point shooter in the three-point contest in next year's All-Star game. That's fun. I like that. But I mean, a lot of us guys over here talk. If we're playing with her, or she's playing against us, and it's pickup basketball, I would like to feel that a lot of us are saying, listen, we're not taking it all that serious. Blocking her shot, what does that do for us? There's no NBA scouts on the sideline watching us. What do you do against professional ball players? And also, she has to think about what she's going to do at the next level in the WNBA. Would you like to see it? Let me know. 641-1010. We got to get to Jonathan Von Tobel over at VSiN. He's going to give us the latest when it comes to the NBA. And also, how far away are we from getting an NBA team in Vegas? And what would you name that team? Jonathan Von Tobel joins us next.
Fish are good at hiding. Captain Kevin can help you find them.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Find more fish on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
Thursday nights at 6.
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss on 1010XL AM.
Leon Searcy here, Jaguar legend and 3-time national champion. Are you ready to elevate your game and dominate on the gridiron? Our elite offensive line camp is designed for young athletes who aspire to push their limits, refine their skills, and become the very best. It's called the Lineman Life. Sunday, April 14th, D1 training on Beach Boulevard. Whether you are aiming to make a starting lineup or a college scholarship, this camp is for you. Spots are limited, so secure your spot now. Go to eventbrite.com, the Lineman Life -offensive line camp. Enter promo code 1010 and get $25 off. Greatness awaits.
Gator fans, the Orange and Blue game is Saturday, April 13th at 1 p.m. in the Swamp, and entry is free. Florida Victorious is proud to sponsor the game. Join us after the game on Steve Spurrier Field for a player meet and greet and autograph session. As a member of Florida Victorious, you can visit with players like Mertz, Lagway, and more. Also, don't miss out on Fan Fest, which begins at 10 a.m., and visit the Florida Victorious tent to meet Gator student athletes. Learn more about Florida Victorious and become a member at FloridaVictorious.com.
The 2024 draft is almost here.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Join us at Everbank Stadium Thursday, April 25th for the official Duval Draft Party presented by Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Be there as the Jaguars make the 17th overall pick, and don't miss the unveiling of the official 30th season logo that you voted on. We're getting the party started at 7 p.m. Tickets are free, so register today at jaguars.com/draft party. We can't wait to see you there.
The Jacksonville Jaguars select.
More videos, more podcasts, more Jaguars, preps, and college football. More of everything you love about Jacksonville sports at 1010XL.com.
Imagine driving a late model Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Honda, Chevy, Ford, and more, all at a fraction of the original sticker price. Visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom and browse a great selection of dream cars that are inspected with warranties. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
Bueller Air Conditioning presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a corporate management manager from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Les Blankston.
Hi, Bob.
That is a remarkably beige suit there, Les. Tell us, why are you on the show?
Well, I just replaced my old air conditioner with a new one from Bueller, and I'm just so comfortable these days. I wondered, am I cool now?
Let's find out, Les. Go ahead and spin the wheel.
That's right, Les. By upgrading your old AC to a more energy-efficient model from Bueller Air Conditioning, you'll save money, save energy, and proudly show your family that you are cool.
Ooh, do you think I should get a mohawk?
Pace yourself, Les.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
I'm Taylor Rose with our Remedy Staffing Westside office off of Normandy Boulevard. We are helping great people find great jobs. Remedy has helped some of the best employers in Jacksonville find talented job seekers like you for over 25 years. Our current job openings range from entry-level distribution center pickers to equipment operators. Apply today at remedygoodjobs.com. Don't wait. Apply at remedygoodjobs.com now.
If you are having problems related to selling your home, here's your solution. You just have not discovered ChadandSandy.com. That's Chad, A-N-D, Sandy.com. Listen, maybe the problem is you need more space for your office or growing family, or perhaps you're worried about settling for less money with a lowball instant offer. We've got one guarantee here that always rings true. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. It's as simple as that. So you need to call 904-414-6200 or go to ChadandSandy.com like Jonathan in Mount Pleasant did. The only thing standing between me and my dream of traveling in my RV was the sale of my Mount Pleasant home. I heard Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. Crazy results. In just 3 days, I received multiple offers for full asking price. So you don't have the problems you think you do. You have solutions and promises with Chad and Sandy. Go to ChadandSandy.com or call 904-414-6200 at ChadandSandy.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's all hoops. Open Gym on 1010XL.
It is the basketball show for the basketball fan here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Open Gym is what we call it. Glad you are with us. RJ Saunders here with you. UConn will be going toe-to-toe against Purdue in the national championship game tomorrow. However, the NBA playoffs just a couple of weeks away, and dropping gems within the gym with us is Jonathan Von Tobel. He is the NBA analyst and host at VSiN. He's also the host of the Hardwood Handicappers podcast, which is an NBA betting podcast. You can follow him on Twitter at JVT. And just when I thought that my handle was good on X, he completely blows mine out of the water. Jonathan, how are you?
I'm good. You know, it's funny. A lot of people do like the Twitter handle. It's a very simple one, but I do get compliments on it.
It's one of the more unique Twitter handles that I have seen on that platform. I just had to show you a bit of love on that before we got into the NBA news and notes here. And before we get into the league as a whole, I just wanted to ask you this, with you being a native and a resident of Las Vegas, Nevada, how far away do you think we are of getting a team in Sin City? And if the NBA were to come to you and ask, what should the team name be for this Las Vegas NBA team, what would you suggest?
So I don't know how soon it's going to be, but it's going to happen, right? Like when you have guys like LeBron James saying that they want a team out here and whatnot, and for your audience who maybe doesn't know, it's a really big basketball town out here. Obviously, the Running Rebels in their heyday were awesome.
Right.
Had a really big support out here. Preseason NBA games between the Kings and the Lakers were always big sellout crowds. It's the Lakers town. So now we do really well out here. So as far as it's going to happen, I'd say probably in the next 5 years, closer to 5 than it would be to 1. But I think it's definitely going to happen. And as far as the name is concerned, I'm not really good at naming teams or anything like that. Like out here when we got the Vegas Golden Knights, everybody was mad about it. I was like, I don't know, it sounded fine to me. So I'm always a fan of unique names. So if you want to call them the Flamingos or stuff like that, the Mob, I think would be pretty cool. I don't know if they would actually allow you to do that, but I'm down with unique. I don't need any more Bobcats or anything like that.
Jonathan Von Tobel, our guest. He's the senior NBA analyst as well as host at VSiN. He's also the host of the Hardwood Handicappers, an NBA betting podcast. So to me, at least for the second half of the season, I've nearly acquiesced to the fact that the road is going to meet and the Celtics and the Nuggets are going to be in the NBA Finals. However, in your opinion, are there any teams within the Eastern or Western Conference that could sour one of those two teams' chances of making the NBA Finals once we get to the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple. I think one of the teams that I was really high on, and I'll be very fair, I'm generally high on them every single year, so this is somewhat biased. But we saw how good the Clippers can be, right, from December all the way through the end of January, where they were 25-6, looked awesome. Kawhi Leonard was having an incredible year. Now, there's some worry about the knee. There was a report out today that the team's not worried, that they did have some imaging done, and there is no structural damage. It's just inflammation. So you'd hope he'd come back, but you saw that team at the peak of their powers. They went to Boston, beat the pants out of the Celtics on Saturday. They beat the Denver Nuggets, and they just beat them again yesterday, by the way, without Kawhi Leonard. So I think if you're looking somewhere, if that team can get it together, I think they are a very obvious choice to look at. I also think with the defensive prowess of Minnesota, I think that is a team that is uniquely equipped to handle the Denver Nuggets. And in the East, I do find it hard to kind of pick a team, only because the team that I think we all expect, Milwaukee, can't figure out what they are, right? You can't lose at home to the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't care if you don't have Chris Middleton or Damian Lillard. You can't lose to the Washington Wizards, and they have those losses all over the place in recent weeks. So I think that's the obvious choice in the East, just given the way that the East has kind of fallen apart, especially with the recent news that Randall is going to be done for the rest of the year for New York. But I think that those are probably the top three teams that come to mind: the Clippers, the Timberwolves, and the Bucks out in the East. But I have a little bit more faith in those two Western Conference teams to be kind of flies in the ointment.
Yeah, and I mean, to kind of expound on that, I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks, I get it. They're the second best team in the East. However, when that Dame Lillard trade went down, I thought it was going to be Milwaukee's NBA title to lose, and then they fire Adrian Griffin. They hire Doc Rivers. Dame and Giannis really haven't seemed to figure it out completely yet, and it raises eyebrows to me when you have two big, impactful superstars on one team. Am I crazy to think that this is going to be a team that's going to be an early round exit once we get to the playoffs?
No, I don't think so. Because the thing is like the Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo thing has worked for the most part on offense. They're fit in non-garbage time offensive efficiency. They're great on that end when they play together.
Right.
The problem is they're 18th in defense, and their transition defense is really subpar. At one point it was one of the worst in the NBA. It's definitely risen up there, and statistically is much better. But you go through some of these games, like you go back to the Wizards game that they lost the other day. The Wizards had an offensive rating of 150 in transition against them. It was awful. They were just sprinting down the court and beating guys down there.
Right.
It's been really inconsistent on that end. And in half-court situations, as much as I love Damian Lillard, he has been a negative at the point of attack defensively. When you lose Drew Holiday, you're going to give that up. But Damian Lillard has not been good. And so when you look at a poor defensive team, and you need defense to win an NBA championship, you need to win a series. And so if you run into, again, a team like Miami that seems to have your number in recent years, if you run into, I would even throw in Cleveland, right? Cleveland, a team that at least has good perimeter talent if they're fully healthy. And we can have questions about that because Donovan Mitchell hasn't looked right since the knee injection.
Right.
But, those are the teams that I think would upset you. So, no, I don't think it's crazy to think that this team could potentially get upended early, because if they're not going to lock down on defense, then, what else are you going to have?
Any action?
Find more fish on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
That's a big redfish, guys.
With Captain Kevin Faber.
Oh, my gosh.
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
It's one thing falling in love with a house, picturing yourself moving in and calling it home, and quite another navigating the world of price negotiating, mortgage lenders, and finding the budget that works best for you. An agent who's a Realtor can make understanding that world easier. Realtors have the expertise, access to proprietary data, and tools to help you get from imagining living somewhere to actually doing it. That's the kind of help we can provide. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician, Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Regular movement is key to so many health benefits. Aim for at least 10,000 steps a day. Decide to only take the stairs if you're walking less than 6th floor. Never park in the first 10 spaces of the parking lot. Walk during your work breaks. Get up 10 minutes earlier in the morning and take a short, brisk walk before the chaos of the day starts. There are so many easy ways to stay active. Let's get moving, Jacksonville.
What's the deal with the show? The 1010XL Podcast Network is now available just about everywhere you find podcasts.
I mean, I think the show's going to be a huge hit.
Search for your favorite 1010XL podcast in your platform of choice.
Men, are you suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? The medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. 98% of men see instant results on their first office visit. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Men are even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
But that's not all. For a limited time only, call Prime Men's Medical Center now, and your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Bueller Air Conditioning presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a corporate management manager from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Les Blankston.
Yeah, hi, Bob.
That is a remarkably beige suit there, Les. Tell us, why are you on the show?
Well, I just replaced my old air conditioner with a new one from Bueller, and I'm just so comfortable these days. I wondered, am I cool now?
Let's find out, Les. Go ahead and spin the wheel.
That's right, Les. By upgrading your old AC to a more energy-efficient model from Bueller Air Conditioning, you'll save money, save energy, and proudly show your family that you are cool.
Ooh, do you think I should get a mohawk?
Pace yourself, Les.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's all hoops. Open Gym on 1010XL.
Thanks to Jonathan Von Tobel, we'll have the full interview on our SoundCloud, so watch out for that. He gets into the weeds of the NBA season, where Trae Young may possibly end up, because there's a lot being rumored around Trae Young. Is he going to be a Laker? Is he going to go to the San Antonio Spurs? His thoughts on the NBA All-Star Game. Are we going to do away with that altogether? We'll talk about that next week as well. Also on next week's show, we'll have the debut of Ryan the Hacker Green. He'll come on. Next week's an all Orlando Magic show. I know we talk about the Orlando Magic ad nauseum. We normally have one expert on. We're going to have two. Ryan the Hacker Green is going to join us and talk about, from a fan perspective, how it's felt to see the Orlando Magic make this run this year and what they'll do in the playoffs. And then one half of the six-man show, Jonathan Osborne, is going to join us to get the news and notes of the Orlando Magic. That is going to do it for us Andrew Gibson was the producer of the program. Thank you so much again, Gibby. Casey, hopefully we'll be back with us next week. I'm RJ Saunders. This has been The Open Gym. We'll see you next week.
I hold them sentiments symbolic. My temperament bipolar, I choose